Do, 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 do. I'm just waiting for the axe to fall and I get the chopperoonie and I can't live stream on my computer because the boogie monsters say so. And surely I haven't even spoken for a week because good grief, all the trouble just keeps happening and happening. And the programming on YouTube gets stupider and stupider. And the Facebook isn't worth being at. And you decide, well, I'm going to try to reclaim my pages. I mean, that sounds noble enough, doesn't it? But let me catch you up real quick on the sensibility of my stupidity with technology, which of course isn't my fault. It's surely a global crisis. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's what happened today. I decided I'm going to go check out a couple of my pages on Facebook, and I started 5 of them. I'm a little bit enthusiastic and a little bit excessive, which is why people love to hate me. Anyhow, I go over there, and we got to go back to 2014. I come online as Suze Pratt. Why would I make up a name? I'm going to use my real name. I'm going to do business as Suze Pratt, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, my daughter, who was naughty from the go, decides to remove me from running my own page because I'm too stupid to do it, which is a great line that somebody that's going to steal your identity is going to surely use. You got to love your family. They think they got every damn right to anything of yours, right? But anyhow, I did that. And I said, I'm going to make a video specific to the page, Suze Pratt, the Holistic Stylist, which is my flippin' page. But a lot of people were involved in this corporate mischief of espionage. And so, see, they had classes and raised money and did little bad things that they thought they were going to somehow set me up as doing. But of course, I've already submitted my taxes, and the woman that represents me full well knew what was going on. And this goes back to the major hack of 2018 and also the backdoor infiltration of my computer in 2016. Okay, cool. And in the meantime, I got Miss Wonderful Katie Roby, impersonating me half of the time and the other half of the time playing her. And these guys are in my computer causing all sorts of trouble. Okay, now this is all easy to prove if you stay with the story instead of probably going and getting a diaper because somehow they involved you. I don't know what happened. But over at my page, I take Suze Pratt off of being a moderator because that closed a gate, a way that they were coming in and manipulating not only Suze Pratt, the Holistic Stylist, but the prophetic destiny of Missouri. And of course, we have our old friend, Flying Rainbow Lasagna, who was actually on my page running her damn courses, collecting money. So see, this is a big deal, the way this scam has worked. And while everybody's running and making these stupid stories about Good and Wilcock, see, that all goes back to the original assumption of all my data. And they said, look at this crazy bitch. We'll just go ahead and write on her material of what happened to her and change it around and use different names and act a fool and create a scandal, which would be called a conspiracy. And in the meantime, these people are e-beggars and scammers and jackasses and fucktard retards, in my opinion. And of course, it's all good fun while our whole society gets flushed down the toilet. Just bugs me. So anyhow, here's the point of the story. I tried to upload that daggum video, which is mine, that I had just made on my Facebook page. Upload it. I'm going to copy it on my phone, of course. And here it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play it because, believe it or not, when I tried to upload it on the old phone here, well, immediately, that video is unable to be uploaded. Poof, right like that. And it's like, damn, that's pretty fucked up, right? So I did it a couple times. And in the meantime, I also recorded one of my own videos, which just was uploaded to my channel that someone else operates, right? But you see how stupid that is, that I'm not allowed to upload my own stinking video. And then you know what the thing told me a minute ago before we went live? And of course, we're documenting this all in real time. It told me I'm not even allowed to use my own capabilities here on my phone. But I did listen to it and it does play. Now, what we're going to see, okay, when I was originally doing the video, and this has all been in the last hour, the way it went was the glitch that we've all dealt with and discussed. I saw the glitch on my main screen, and it was about 30 seconds later that the video quit working. So that would be when the hackers took control, obviously. Jeez. But in the meantime, it plays, and it'll go dark, and then I'll bring it back. So we're just going to run this as evidence and as an experiment. So good luck to us. Oh, it's me, that pain in the ass. Some people love to hate. My name is Suze, and I should have had my phone on to document what happened on the computer, but like a dummy, I didn't. I was just trying to do simple, small things. So we're talking about my hijacked Facebook pages. I made a few adjustments. I thought, let's see if I can run a live video. And of course it said, oh no, you can't. We're having trouble recording this. And at that point you realize that it's all these hackers that have stolen everything of mine, and they just want to jump in and mess it up. And I know see, it goes dark. Because you can't believe it. Or maybe it's because you're involved in it. Or maybe it's because I'm fine, Mr. Hat. How are you? That you didn't know there weren't any secrets. And you know they're all watching going. So here again, I was trying to get my Suze Pratt the Holistic Stylist page, see if I could move around with it, and we have a comment. It just sucks. Not set up. Everybody is welcome in the global community, but me. That's because they stole my shit. Stupid. You can discuss, you can restrict, and you can protect. Whoa. What the hell? I was waiting to be me, 2020. Just wanted to catch up, reach out, and regain what are my Facebook pages. That was 41 minutes ago. And the video is going to take a few minutes. The quality of the broadcast. Where did I get these new fucked up emojis from? What about view in the post? There I am. See, there's my big dumb face. Okay, what's this? They say I can't play it. Let's see what happens if I play it. What the hell's this? Oh, good deal. We are live. That's me. Sue's Pratt, the holistic stylist. Once upon a time, well known as the sole proprietor of the Hair Emporium. Why am I here today? Well, I actually do miss my friends and clients and people that I was used to interacting with on the daily basis somehow. But the bigger thing is this. It was you know that sets you up for me to ask, well, whose do you use? It's not funny. Some bitch takes over and starts pumping out false media, and at the same time trying to sell you something and associating my name, my face, my image, or my material. Now this is a BFD, and it's also that to you guys as far as just being humans on social media that once believed that you weren't interesting enough for them to mess with. I can remember years ago people saying that to me. And of course, I'm irrelevant. I didn't get involved in this rat race of technology and social media until 2014. And it's been 6 years of living home. I don't want to cry about that. This is really me wanting to extend an honest, heartfelt connection to people. What's this? I just really wanted to tell you why you haven't heard from me in so long. And I felt like it was safe for me to do this now, since the whole tax scam with online marketing, social media, let's say the stealing of all of you guys' personal data. Right, I'm the bitch trying to help y'all. Fuck. People now aren't even interested in being on Facebook anymore because they were so screwed over by it. You know, everybody wants to blame somebody, don't they? You gotta have somebody punch or stick a knife in or poke the bear, excuse me. What about this? Doesn't work. No, you don't. Gossip or the information or the down low when you're dealing with a hairdresser. It always used to bum me out because we have such little time to dig around and talk about gossip, so I like to call it the gospel truth. I was always about the first do no harm in my business. Back to the story. I don't get on Facebook anymore because it's a nightmare when you have 5 pages that they find it amusing to steal and whore out and have classes on and think they're going to get away with some kind of scam with the IRS. But Oh, we're going to talk.
I'm 56 now. So big bang boom, got those taxes in.
You just hang on.
That was going on, so the Missouri highway troopers, the big cops of the state here in the Charlotte state. This is all about fraud, and nobody's home to answer any phones anywhere. And everybody's fraud departments have been hacked by the idiots that probably stole your information as well as mine, and started a crazy virus, are making people sick and fucking with their heads. And this is all in the realm of being a holistic hairdresser, being someone that is familiar with chemistry, anatomy, psychology, hygiene, different skin conditions, parasites, bacteria, and viruses. Oh yeah, I've talked about that stuff for years, and that's why it was so important to shut me down. In the meantime, when I went to my computer today,
Thank you.
then of course we're talking about the big one, not the iPhone. Well, they told me I couldn't even
Just
go
hang on.
to my holistic stylist page.
I'm glad you're here, though.
The hairdresser. I thought, what the hell? And being that I really was computer literate, which everybody used to mock, and now they realize that even the geniuses are computer illiterate, unless they're the ones hacking your computers.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes it insane and moronic, right? But what I'm trying to get at is I want
Wow,
to be
huh?
able to help. And so let's go
That's
over
my
the walls
chocolate.
here. Wizard Wallace in St. Louis, Missouri. And always remember, this state is the only one that joined the Union as a divided state. No wonder we have so much chaos and so many agendas
Mm-hmm.
and misconceptions. But here again, this is about people needing help. So,
Yeah.
to begin with, it was about 2.5 weeks ago on Twitter that they showed a legal document with highlighting, and we all know that this can be forged. I'm not saying that this is something that has been proven to me, because of course I'm irrelevant, nobody wants to talk to me. Plus they needed to kill me off, and that way they could use my image and manipulate every word I've ever said in my lifetime.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why everybody's fighting now and doesn't trust each other, by the way. So never think that when a day goes by and everybody's crying boo-boo kitty, they can't do business. Well, so many people mock that about me, and it happened back in 2015. So it's taken a while to catch up, but we're talking
One thing at a time.
bringing things back
One
up
thing
a
at a
little.
time. Which with me is always several.
Or offended somebody, because hey, guess what? I have always had the right to refuse service.
Hey, it's almost
And
4:20
yes,
in 8
you get
minutes.
pissy these
Do
days.
do do do.
They think it's because you're prejudiced or you're sexist or you're, a germaphobe or whatever you are. I mean, back in the day, we went to Chicago and we ate at Dometics. It was by the Hard Rock and Yankee Square. But in there they had a sign that says, management has the right to refuse someone, and the customer is not always right. See, as consumers and customers,
You're not
there's so many
late.
questions about what a
You've been here
hairdresser
since the
can do
go.
for you. I mean,
Mm.
And we should know how to
The
spell
book
our
for all
skin
good
condition,
idiots.
know what it is.
Hey, Nikki, how you doing?
College-educated
You're
conversation
welcome.
with your MBS, but not be able to diagnose you and send you to a
Dermatologist. Fuck.
what do you call it? You know, the people that just take care of your skin. They like to take skin cancer off of things. It doesn't matter. Nobody's working because everybody's locked down. And so, back to
Except for the seeds.
document on Twitter. It encouraged, you know, this is our governor, which whatever you want to think about him, that's not in our conversation today because everybody has been manipulated. So, what I'm talking about is he encouraged anyone who had a private practice
Which I do.
to conduct business within their home because that way they know the people they're seeing. They can evaluate because of their professionalism who is
Mm-hmm.
contagious and who is not.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, of course, you know, that's one of the biggest hot button subjects going. So I'm not going to discuss that right now because it makes somebody want to, you know, get offended because I'm trying to offer my experience and wisdom in this trying time. So the mayor, the governor, blah, 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 the governor, he says, hey, you guys can open up and do business. Well, of course, that's kind of like looking at your problem between, you know, who you believe is the president and what the senators and governors can do, and of course, what your local government can do. And it's really just a lot of misinformation right now. We really have no clean cut guidelines, and in this game, it changes daily. I mean, you've been watching, and each state is different. These are different stages in this global witness, which it's not a joke. This is really happening, and people really are expiring for many reasons.
Yeah.
These are things that I always talk to about with my clients, whether it's stress, anxiety, blood type, the placebo effect, mind control, and beliefs that come from, I mean, is it superstitious because it's religious or political? I think it's both the same. And I surely don't want to disagree with anyone on that. The point of the video is to offer the help, to bring the information, to discuss the relevant topics, and to see if my stupid Facebook page acknowledges me now as a person that's allowed to be there. So back to the original story, which is, you know, comical because the way the mocking began. Originally, I was Sue's Pratt on Facebook. Then my daughter, Lauren, took me off being able to control it and put herself. And that all gets into the fraud and the deception and the terrible things and all the bad stories that anybody that knew me from the Hair Emporium always knew, because you don't divide your professional and your personal life when you have the same morality and ethics, and that's part of the big shutdown in the workforce today, because no longer can people act like a jackass at work and then be kind and loving to their family. Those two worlds crash and bang into each other. So the beliefs and protocols are at the forefront of this war. Now, I'm Sue's B. Pratt
First one I ever bought.
Don't get me wrong. I can still live stream.
Last one I'll ever fucking buy.
All my files were removed. All of my pictures, all of my data. And of course, in an international way, it plays into this hacking. Russia, the Ukraine, the United States government, the sellouts, the big command. Because if you guys all want to say we're all in it together, but you've got a group of well over 1,000 people that actually brought all this to you, whether it was for entertainment or just to fuck me up or to shut down my information. I don't think it's funny. And in the meantime, what I did today on my Zeus Pratt, the holistic fucking stylist page on Facebook, was I removed Zeus Pratt as someone that could control it, because obviously other people have control over Zeus Pratt, the holistic stylist, Sophia's Emporium with Zeus, Soulbox, Prophetic Destiny in Missouri, Manhattan Presley. And so when I go to my own pages that say that I don't have permission to view them, and the link is expired.
All right, tinfoil hatter. We're going to talk here in a minute, so if you're gone, you better skedaddle back.
They give you a link instead of saying, I'm watching the video, blah, 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 and then you look it up on your own search. They're giving you a direct highway to a video that they're talking about. And a lot of the time they're hooked up to Pornhub and to data collection places and very deep, dark things on this secret web that you normal people never get on, because theoretically you do not speak or have a YouTube channel or do any kind of research, which how dare anybody tell anybody what they're doing on the computer? I mean, obviously nobody knew in the first place, and that's why everybody's crying and running for the hills and getting sick over it. Back to my job. So, if I get my page up and running and get these assholes on it, they get busted because they were going to try to scam money. And then they've got till June to file, but I've already filed. Good luck to anybody filing in my name. And all the assholes that took out welfare on my name.
Finally had an extra hand.
Here at 12 Royal, which is a public thing. That's not me doxing myself. That's me living my whole life in a phone book where you look up Susie Pratt and it would have the address and the phone number. So, for anybody who seriously requires or needs me, as you can see, there is my phone numbers.
I got a great story, but I can't tell that in this group.
She wants to inbox it, color, cut her bangs. She's playing with me. I think it's funny. I'm just looking, everybody relax. Okay. So back to the story. The governor encourages me to see clients. It sounds like. In the meantime, I have all these LLCs and these, little businesses.
Fucking Shake Shack. Give me a break.
Little tiny aspects of bigger corporations.
It's Shake Shack.
There's no money left for small business.
That's how much this moves around.
It's ripped off and everybody's been playing digitally.
And we're back to Elvis.
I mean, I'm paying over 20% as interest on debt that I shouldn't have when I got basically thrown out of this town from the time I got here, and I was supposed to be cool about it. Whatever.
Sure.
Everybody's towns are in crisis now, aren't they? And that goes back to the point. You cannot take a good person that has done business
Especially when the bitch is trying to help.
And so be it. Because for all the idiots who think that robots are gonna run shit, you have a robot do your hair, right? Supposedly made for salons and manicure places are gonna be able to open up again. You gotta be kidding me. They've been pushing things back and back and playing around. And here again, I do want to bring up the St. Louis News about a year and a half ago when I made a couple videos. Said, hey, hairdressers, we want you to talk about STDs now. Sexually transmitted diseases. Yeah. That's real easy to do when you work at Great Clips and have 20 minutes to line a brother up and want to talk to him about his AIDS and be right with you. Talk about a riot waiting to happen. Not a good one. People that work directly with the public are essential. And tech glitch that just happened on my computer. Sorry, we're having trouble playing this video.
And there's the cycle.
Okay. At 2:28 p.m. I got shut down on my own page. Too bad I didn't have it on my iPhone. Oh, but we got it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do everything at once. If you end this live video now, you'll be able to choose if you want to save or delete. Yeah, and there we go.
Okay. So obviously, there's nothing wrong with the video here except for the darkening of the screen in and out. And as much as I know about watching videos upload, usually you don't have that happen. So there's the way the interference works in my particular device. And so now I want to address Tinfoil Hatter because, you know, I automatically want to say he, but we can't really do that here online. And nobody knows who anybody is, so it doesn't really matter. But what he said was, I slightly doubt anyone will bother you anymore. If you keep doing the Elvis bits, though, Elvis is sanctioned material, comma, I guess. Well, it sure the fuck is sanctioned material, whatever that means. And you have to realize, honestly, Mr. Tinfoil Hat or Miss Tinfoil Hat, for real, we're talking about actually believing in humanity and coming online and being continually manipulated. And I think that that's where we should start this conversation. And it really did happen that way. So this stupid Thomas Williams of Truth, Honor, Integrity. Well, see, that's where I saw the actual post that said that they had found a dead man under an overpass in California with the same DNA as the man that we believe we know as Elvis Presley. So when you're on a page that has been recommended to you by all the whoop-de-doos of the alternative media, including the biggest whoop-de-doo of all, Randy Moggins, you see, I trusted that place. And at the same time, everybody was realizing that Facebook wasn't so safe. This is back in the early part of this. So we're in 2015. And they had made a group called Me We. And it was supposed to be just like Facebook, but it was supposed to be safer and no ads. So if we fast forward to this year, 2020, we start getting the intel coming across about these groups that are on different platforms that aren't your plain old Facebook or plain old YouTube, because as this scourge has shit across the internet, people keep going to places where they feel like they're safe, or they feel like they're going to have a better ability to reach people that want to hear their voice. And it's really not that. And that's how a lot of these scams and cons have happened in an organic way, where really we realized that it was all premeditated programming and a very interactive script. And that isn't a bunch of paper with writing on it like back in the day, you get a script and there'd be fucking paper and you'd be reading what this one said and what the other one said, and that's not what it is. It's something that is so profound to me that it always had a life of its own. And then we have to get into the question of whether it is an artificial intelligence per se. And of course, that bitch's name is Sophia too, right? But is it that? Or is it a PSYOP mind control program that goes all the way back to the 50s? And, a lot of people really like to connect this idea that they know where they're at in America, where there's never been war. And then you shake somebody and wake them up, and it's like, dag, there was always war, whether they called it war or they didn't call it war. And then you get into the whole argument about the PSYOP behind each scrimmage, which has been ongoing now and has completely devastated the planet and stole the money and did the deal. And of course, now where we're all screwed is no matter who you are, they do have all your data. This really should have never been mocked, but I guess it was a good experiment. So back to the idea of me leaving this Elvis story alone. It really doesn't begin or end with me. They had this story going since 1977, and many people that were way more fucking popular than me talked about it. So it's kind of like when you're dealing with Ms. Wonderful, that basically she can run YouTube and know about all this hacking. And it's fascinating. It's like last night I was listening to, well, it would have been 2 nights ago now. I was listening to this video, 2 parts, a Russian speaker, very unusual artwork, and the story that has been told countless times, which at this point I'm not going to go over again because that should be its own separate subject. But in the end, it's kind of sad. And where we will go, I'm talking about as these things that we call human. I mean, I call myself human, and um, we come to find that there's so many humans in these suits that aren't human, and then you get into the disclosure. But you have the other side of it, of course, where it's a bunch of things that look alien to you. And it's like I said to Joe last night. So you got to realize that where we're all at is going to be this situation. So you're outside one day doing whatever you're doing, and right poof like that, right in front of you, a being appears that doesn't look human. And the words that come out of the being's mouth are sensible, compassionate, and kind. How many people would prejudice the message because this thing that looks like a monster or an alien is now treating you more human than any of your alleged human friends? Which takes me back to Elvis. Okay, so I've seen his story represented a million different ways. And in the end, if there are pictures and documentation through the entire time, which there is via the satellite from 1973, and in all the stories we get from there, you have to realize the Elvis story is the hub and the crucible of every lie that is now being told, all the way up to government, so much so that they would want to create an inquisition and a conspiracy at this late moment in the game. And historically, it's said that Trump will be our last president. I mean, you think, what the hell? And so when you look at great people, you got to realize that they're not much different than us, where they realize the end of whatever is upon them, even if it's 50 years before the end. Because, see, the end isn't 5 minutes before you say, I'm going to bend over and kiss my ass goodbye. The end is way, way back historically and takes several generations to run through. Otherwise, it would be that thing that we've been told, that we are so insignificant and we are here for only a speck of time, and so we suck and we can't create any decent outcomes. Okay. So the Elvis thing isn't something I can give up because it came from me. And that's where people get it really fucked up. If something approaches you and makes a communication that you can never prove who it was, whether it was a secret spy, whether it was a ghost, whether it was a demon, whether it was an angel, whether it was an artificial intelligence, there is no way to tell. And what that reminds me of is kind of how many vectors of death are now verging into two words, and what the meaning of that all is. Back to this other video, I'm not talking about part 1 and 2 of the sad thing. Now I'm talking about something else. We go into a video that was brilliant. 90% of the people would have never listened to it because the language is not English. The gentleman who's speaking is speaking English, but I want to say he's from somewhere like Thailand or Vietnam or something. And so he draws his diagram to explain, bottom line, that this COVID-19 stuff, the end result of it is it's like a calcium vacuum, and it fucking is going to increase the number of cancers. So at that point, there's a huge argument right now of how people are tagged, whether they died of pneumonia, COVID-19, coronavirus, STDs, AIDS, and now cancer. So back to Elvis, we see the St. Jude thing, the money that was given, we see Salk, we see him working on cancer at the end of his life, we see all these videos that I've made that people have mocked, I see it at least, and coming in and making a general basis that now everyone is disgusting, but not using the proper terminology or words, and they're all controlled by some kind of an agenda. And any one of these things, you're going to have more than one agenda. So it's like, in the end, for years, everybody wanted to say cancer was caused by cigarettes. There was a whole bunch of people that got cancer that didn't smoke. And then they said, oh, well, you blew it on me. You know what? Bullshit. That's how little people know about health. And so for the last 100 years, it's been about people's immune systems being weakened and broken down and manipulated through chemicals and pharmaceuticals and modern living. And the belief that you can't have worms or parasites if you have a toilet. And then you think, man, how can they make people feel so damn dumb and belittle them? And it's like, well, that's easy. Look what Chanter and Katie Roby and all these fucktards that use different names, they can't keep it straight and are going mentally fucking insane now. All because of the ignorance of wanting to destroy someone that shouldn't be blamed. We can't blame the institution or the corporation because, see, they're like the robot. They're way more intelligent than us people. And we've given our trust, not me. The collective gave their trust to different things that crushed their belief in mankind. Hey, I get it. But back to the Elvis thing. I mean, most people are usually smart enough to realize that if it strikes that big of a nerve, that you're on something that is key critical, and then what you're taught is to follow the money. You follow the money and you follow the story, and you find out the truth, and you expose the deception, and you heal the divide. I don't see why this whole Elvis thing has to be the end of the world as we know it. Originally, I saw it as something that was able to come together globally because so many people loved and had respect and entered into a whole new world of rock and roll or gospel or country. Because, see, there's different groups that say, oh, no, 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 this is our guy right here. Or military or government. And then you get into the CIA and the FBI and all the three-letter agencies. And so there's nothing I could say now. Or wait, let me take that. Let me fix it. Even if I quit talking about it now, and I said, well, I didn't mean to say none of that. You know, I had a couple cocktails and a couple pills in me, which everybody knows I don't. Even though in these stories, you know, the girl is always drunk and always on pills. No. And they know it. So even if I quit talking about it today, it's already spread to such a wide place that it can't be silenced. You know, that couldn't have been his real name. It's kind of like in government. These people aren't even using their real names. They're called stage names. They're aliases. They keep their family protected and safe. It's not to be a lying piece of shit. So, the whole key to the code has to do with the truth coming forward of what interacted with me. Because in every step of the way, I did not make the first move. I was approached by others. And to say it was for catfishing reasons is the most ignorant, stupid, sexist, fucked up answer that anybody could give me. You don't get it. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a great statesman these days or just a schlub on the streets. Beauty is irrelevant and always replaceable by the next person that comes your way when we're talking about physical beauty. This is about an internal kind of a thing, and people call it a frequency or vibration. I know it is some kind of a mind link, so my answer must be validated for all this information I've given. Tell me this. Is it an algorithm in a video game? And it was all just a joke? Or is this something so serious and so deadly that I had to be put on a hit list? And if I can't get an answer to that in the United States of America, you could see how we'd all be screwed. Because like I said, I mean, to watch a life be destroyed and to actually report on it, I'm talking about my life, my family's life, my business's life, and then people to just blow it off and make all their bullshit stories. everybody has been forced to experience this. Originally, it was because, I shattered somebody's reality, put all the blame back on me for speaking. But this is something greater than myself or any other person. And so here again, the question remains, what is it? And it needs to be identified because now we're all dealing with it. And I'm sick and tired of everybody blaming me because it's everybody else that got busted. It's stupid. And it's not gotten me anywhere. But a whole bunch of other people made a lot of money off of it. And it's not even about the money. It's about being that damn ignorant and hateful. And it's like a bunch of little punk ass bitches having a bully platform, and that cannot be civilized. I mean, you don't have to be a priss or a prude or even a dork to realize that's not proper behavior, and you wouldn't do that to other people. But hey, the game was never taken seriously, and I always knew the game was serious. I tried to stay out of the game my whole life. I mean, let me be self-employed and do my own thing and be a good girl and be creative. Don't make me go suck ass and sign a non-disclosure for somebody that wants to rape me. No. And now everybody feels like they got raped because their fucking master's not taking care of them. And we're talking about people that still have plenty of money to live out the rest of their lives, crying like butthurt bitches. Because in the end, they didn't realize that they were going to kill their own families, their own friends. I mean, this plague sees no color, no socioeconomic, only stupidity, and only faulty immune systems. So here again, as a hairdresser, this is something I took serious for 30 years in the operation of my small business. How could people sink so low because they don't have any satisfaction in their life? That's the question that needs to be asked. I think the wrong questions are being posed by these people that are running our media. And I think this Elvis thing is out of control. And like I said, I've suffered more than any human should suffer for it. There's 100 other assholes out there that have directly been involved in it for years, made a huge amount of money over it, and just hurt people. It's just too much protesting, especially for something nobody believes in and keeps wanting to take back to Kennedy. It's so predictably stupid. It amazes me. That's my answer to that. Hope it was good enough. Now, this whole other thing. Let's be honest, Mr. Hat. Since I'm not the only person that wasn't a computer expert, I can tell you this is that people with real computers that have real cameras built into them, like what I'm using with the green light, if they're in trouble with YouTube or Facebook, they can't use it. I'm not saying you're in trouble with anybody. I'm just trying to explain a simple thing. So, if you have a group of people now that when they live stream, delete it the minute they're done with it, and in the meantime are setting off weapons of warfare within it, and you think that these technological authorities don't know? I mean, that's terrible, right? How can something be so brilliant to run our world and so dumb not to catch something so obvious? And that's why this is a psychological operation. They're watching each person. They're documenting it, not so much to punish those people, but to help any survivors of this time, because the people that are doing this are not going to survive. I don't know what to say, except for it's stupid. And of course, why the hell can't I record something if I want? That was kind of the question, wasn't it? Let's oh wait, no, 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 no. If you go back now, you'll lose all your changes. Big deal. But I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to shut it down. And then we'll bring it back up. The software, hardware, router, and addresses are all involved in this war that we're being attacked by on every front, is all I know. You know, I really did want to learn about the computer and apply everything I had learned through my life to it. So I don't really think that that is going to be possible if we're all wiped out. And, you know, something the other day that really got on my last nerve was to see how the computer could even go in there and mess with Rudolf Steiner. And as many books as I've read that man shared with the world, never did he talk about a robot or a machine overcoming mankind. But there was a video that wasn't done by the regular voice of that channel, and his name is Dale. And so here comes a computer voice telling me this bullshit story. And I said, I'm out of here, man. And, you know, just turned the video off, didn't like it. It was funny. A couple days after that, Dale said something about he was sorry that he didn't have permission to post something. And it's like, okay, I see what's afoot here. So basically, they had to go and strike the very guy. I'm talking about his memory because, you know, to do something like that and to get caught and to have the computer acknowledge it and people wonder why their pages are being taken down. I don't really think anybody has control on anything that they claim to be theirs on the computer. I'll go that far. And then we have to go back to the question of who does have that control. Is it an artificial intelligence? Is it an agency? What the hell is it? And my own self, I'm not going to have a stroke or freak out if I get told, but I ask everybody to come to that place of acceptance to say, no matter what they tell me, no matter how fucked up it is, when they prove it to me, I will adjust because it is the only option that we have, period. I mean, everybody's too lazy to get off their rear ends to stand up against anything these days. The only thing is to be told the truth and to not allow your heart to actually literally break and you wind up DOA. Dead on arrival. Okay, so here comes the attack. And it's so sad that this Jimmy Touchdown keeps harassing me and I never did anything to him. I mean, he's watching my videos. People say, if you don't like him, leave. And in the meantime, isn't that funny? Here again, I extend myself to people. And Jimmy Touchdown puts at Amy Maxey, did you ever get your big ass on that diet? Now, the other night, allegedly, Amy Maxey did call me on the phone. And I did speak to her. And it was such a weird call because I could feel it. That this person didn't come with an honest heart when they came to talk to me. And if I'm wrong, Amy Maxey should explain that publicly because it's funny on a video the other night where they were taking somebody across the coals. They flashed a real quick image of somebody called Stina Bobina. And I said, is that little Miss Stina Bobina? And then the guy that made the video, just kind of blew it off in a way and said, thanks for, watching the video. But I shared it because it was so weird. But back to Amy Maxey. See, that I couldn't have a person actually call me and be honest. Well, how would Jimmy Touchdown know about that unless Jimmy was on the phone? And who's on a diet? Because who says what's fat? And who is Jimmy Touchdown to know? Why are we being so ignorant to each other? And no, I won't approve that comment because Jimmy Touchdown must have a worm up his ass, in his nose, eating his brain, and sodomizing him. I don't have a big ass. And how do you know what size Amy Maxey's ass is? But what Jimmy does show us is how there are many names that describe one person, and they do that just to harass, and that's problematic. And Jimmy wants to know if Amy Maxey got her ass problem secured. And he, Jimmy Touchdown, recalls that she was farting a lot. Why does everybody make ass jokes? Okay, so Amy's in the chat. Now, Amy, are you talking to Jimmy because either you're with him or you're against him or you don't know him? And like I told you the other night on the phone, I extended myself. I trusted you. I had the conversation. And what you gave me was a bunch of dates and facts and figures, like I was supposed to be reading you, which I'm not here to do. And how does Jimmy know? I mean, how far does this communication breach go? And here again, since my number is public, we're going to have to make some big adjustments when people call me to be very specific what they want to ask me and to ask the question, and I will give the answer. Just ask Sunshine on Sophia. Her real name is something else. I got her damn phone number, and I gave her 3.5, 4 hours while she told me about her sad, sorry life. And then she made a channel and was up Channer's ass. This does nothing for anybody's future to behave this way. Yes, sweetie, I know. And she's also been bombing me and won't allow me to even listen to her deviant plans. And Miss Fucking Wonderful and Monograph are a team. Don't be fooled. I'm the one that keeps connecting entities with other entities. And until Jimmy shows us his ass size, I don't think we should be talking about fat asses. I mean, unless that's all that these communications are going to be about. I mean, really. A real library. Wouldn't that be nice? Like if somebody gave a shit. Since I've read the books, and I'll retain no matter what form I'm in, I guess that's all I can ask. Dr. Van Steiner. It sounds like you're saying Dr. Von Scott. Like I'm supposed to be having fun. Well, I hope you got... I hope you got something out of it today, sweetie. I really do. All I came here for was that. And to have my life pissed on for these last 5 years while people mock. It really shows a sad state of affairs. Missy Amy. This isn't how I feel. This is about what has happened today on this stream. And in me discussing the idea of what we conversated about and how I need to revise and have to be overly cautious because it looks like Jimmy Touchdown was holding the phone. How does he know these things? Focus on the question in the right place, not back to me. Everything isn't my fault. Right? Next thing you know, you love me, you hate me. And then it's just another person that I've offended from trying to help while Mr. Touchdown makes the money and jacks off. You see what I'm saying? Von Steiner. What the fuck? Everybody loves Blavatsky. Dippy, 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 dip. And nobody knew Steiner. Nobody respects the biodynamic farming or the anthroposophical medicine or the Waldorf school system. We've got a million ways to fix things, but oh no. Let's mock somebody that I actually respect and have done a lot of shows on. That would be the prudent thing to do. It may well be your first time here too, tinfoil hatter. Now, let me blow your mind. That fucked up sad video I was talking about, the two-parter from Russia. Wouldn't it be fucked up if all y'all's names were controlled by one entity that's not me? And that he just uses y'all's names to fucking talk to me or whoever the hell he wants? This is what I've lived with for 6 years. So don't nobody take offense that I don't know who you really are when I can't see your face at my door and sit down and talk to me the way that I talk to y'all. And this isn't no fucking Zoom thing I paid for. This is the fucking house with the old ass floor that the carpet came off of. May as well be your first time here. Bah humbug, Scrooge. Well, you're welcome to chat anytime you'd like, Tweety. Okay, Amy. So, Jimmy knows more about you and I than we do. That's fucked up, ain't it? And that's the point. Because I'm not arguing with anybody. All I've been doing was showing compassion and spreading information. And I'm not going to be the one that's going to go crazy from this shit. Because like I said, I could drop this fucking internet like nobody's business. They already got all my stuff. I stay here and keep trying to help so we can get off this fucking rat wheel of this chaos. And I get treated worse than these fucking jokers that are scamming every motherfucker online. I believe you wanted to reach out with love, see? But if Jimmy's in the way of that, fucking up our conversation, then we can't do that. Nothing to do with me. It's all Mr. Touchdown. Maybe he's fucking Tom Brady for all I know. That was supposed to be a joke. Tinfoil Hatter, I hope she doesn't mind, but I have to stop her sometimes when she hides behind the phone. Ha ha. Oh, Amy. See, now Tinfoil is hiding behind you when you ain't got no panties on the dance floor. You see what I mean? That's why I say maybe it's all one robot named fucking Freddy that is just terrorizing me and using all y'all's names. I mean, we can play this game all damn day. It's merely paused, not stopped. What's paused? You got y'all's existences? My existence. The truth. What's paused? Time isn't even real. I mean, from obviously the way the robot tells it. I'm quite sure there's a pattern here to see at the point. Well, you know what? I've been seeing a pattern for all these years getting abused as I've been sharing the pattern. And now I'm supposed to act like somebody can tell me something about said pattern. And that must be because I'm a girl. I mean, because that's what this all comes down to. While Channer talks about his feminine side. And of course, I'm speaking with too much authority, and women can't do that, only men can. And that's why people have the audacity to call me a man. It's absolutely pathetic. Good, Amy. Good. I'm going to read what Amy said because it's important. She is defending her body shape and saying she's not overweight. And he's just talking out his ass. And I agree. And you do see about the third party. Thank you. So that means that at any time, the third party who doesn't have the balls or the courage to step forward and explain this horse shit is the one that says that we're all inadequate. You know, this he that we're going to call Mr. What's his name? I want to call him Outfield all of a sudden. What do I want? Oh, touchdown, outfield. Okay. So he has the same name as my little brother. That's the point. Jimmy Touchdown. Okay, so now is Jimmy Touchdown a vehicle for one of the entities that compose the four faces of God to be in here fucking around? And, I've been quite honest about interacting with these beings that I can't explain. And I think it's time they grow up. Because whoever they are have been blaming us little piss-ass humans for every problem in the galaxy. All the other life forms, all the secret projects, all the fucking horse shit. It's our fault. But we don't even know what the fuck's going on. And they do? I just am amazed. Even then, at the stupidity of the alleged hierarchy. Because, like I said, there was no getting away from them. I had courage and honesty and love and went forward in this fucked up mission. And patiently I wait as we all die, including me. Oh, let me get through the things so I can tell you the big story coming out of Missouri today. And Brandon, I can't even help smile at you, but you're still on fucking Channer's side. What the hell's wrong with you? That's just me saying hi. Good, Amy. Keep ignoring them. Because obviously, we are getting to somebody. Well, Brandon, sweetheart, since I'm irrelevant, I don't really feel like being around. And Facebook fucked me royal today. And I just thought I'd capture all the evidence here on this piece of fuck show. Because surely YouTube is brimming with entertainment these days. Let me tell you about this show me state. All right. Today, on the noon news, our mainstream media said that we, Missouri, the divided state, where it's nothing but bullshit and race wars and biotech capital of the USA, we, Missouri, are going to sue China for this release of this bioweapon. Now, how the fuck is Missouri going to do that? And in the meantime, the Hollywood Squares from Missouri, which is now the St. Louis alderman on Zoom, keep in mind, the government allegedly has said that anyone that's on a government server cannot use Zoom. Okay? So we got our fake ass government here playing games on Zoom. And we're going to sue China. And they've already got a group of experts that are going to talk to you about health and the virus and all these things. And I'm the bitch that's got the way to stay healthy, obviously, because my nose isn't fucked up. I don't got worms coming out of my eyes, and I'm healthy, and I have shared specifics that are scientifically proven through time and in intelligent books on how to take care of oneself. And that's what I'm really here for, but I never get around to it because there's always something fucking poking at my head while people are calling me David Wilcock, Corey Good, or Trump, or Pelosi. I'm none of them. I'm me. But nobody can use my name. And that is the most ignorant, belligerent, asinine thing that I've ever had to deal with. And I am glad that a few people know to call me Susie, or Suze, or Susanna. I mean, people really think I'm Sophia? You gotta be fucking kidding. I'm Suze. And that's what my name is online. Oh, but everybody else has got my name, no doubt. That's just like in Boyd. There's a dozen Trishas. There's a dozen Amy's. There's a dozen Mel's. Ugh. And people don't realize that they already know who all these fake names go back to. But I'm the bitch that's going to die for everybody? I mean, that's fucking stupid. Now you're on the loop of history. And, yeah, they're going to document our stupidity down to the very end. And Thor. Fucking Thor, my ass. If that ain't another Channer Berg's fucking Elvis Travels crock of crap. When they all play rock band, and that's the biggest fucking joke of it all. Taking music and twisting it into some kind of fucking power trip. It's bullshit. Oh, yeah. Missouri. Okay. So we're suing China. We got an advisory board, and they don't want to talk about the idea that the United States did a collaborative effort with China, but Missouri, the divided state, who's got all this money that's magically disappeared, that must be my fault too. Kind of like the oil market crashing. Hey, that must be my fault. I mean, all my stocks were stolen. Yeah, it's all my fault. See, you just get rid of the fucking redhead and everybody's problems just magically disappear and you get lollipops and sunshine instead of me. Anybody that sell anybody out is already fucking dead, if you ask me. All right, North Carolina's the Tar Heel, Brandon. Well, then you better know. You better know, sweetheart, that the story will always go back to New Bern. And that's South Carolina. You know, the Revolutionary War crap, the glass-cocked shit, the fucking battle at Guilford County Courthouse, and all the lies and the death. See, that must all be the glasscock's fault, too. And I deserve every bit of this. What's the one? Left field? The Show Me State? Oh, the Show Me State's stupid. Are you fucking kidding? Why would I ever believe a book called The Prophetic Destiny of a Nation that listed the positive things that were supposed to come out of each fucking hub of shit? I don't know. Maybe because I have hope and believe in people and believe in a civilized system that could arise out of this fucking pile of worms. All I know is if you watch late night TV and watch Stephen Colbert and the dude after him, man, we've been having interactive fucking TV on the mainstream, and don't act like some of you people don't already know that. Everybody knows. Fucking Jimmy Dore knows it, the little bitch. You know, I've never seen so many cons and asswipes act like a bunch of children. And somebody thinks they're keeping me safe. You gotta be kidding. I got fucking Hoosiers and assholes coming to a vacant house every day that's on the market for 158 grand in the motherfucking ghetto. And I think they're coming just to spit their contagion around. Because these bitches sure ain't buying no house. You see what I'm saying? Or how about a satellite over in a private lot? Oh, people look the other way. Oh, hey, if it's not California or New York or a big motherfucking joint instead of this piss-ass horse town, well, just wait in the back of the line, Missouri. Fuck, the projects were laid down here in this place. Well, aren't we getting personal, Mr. Touchy? Brandon, you wrote me a song. See, it's really cute to believe that somebody actually cares. You better get your happy ass, Mr. Young. You and your hairdo. Live and sing me that fucking song. Otherwise, I don't believe you. And Jimmy wants to know, where is Joe? What, I can't be in my house alone? Without a man here cracking a whip at me? Where's Joe? Joe's at work. I mean, otherwise, how are we going to live? Because, we're not getting no checks or assistance or PayPal or fucking blood money or bullshit. I mean, what do you think? Think we should go fucking crash in a vacant house on the north side and live out of our Jeep and be fucking Mongols or something? We'll stay in this piss-ass house in this blood-ridden town. And I do believe that, Amy. And that's what I'm here for. A little bit of bitch, a little bit of love. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't be honest. Now Jimmy's an Elvis aficionado. Intercontinental liaison to Planet X. What kind of crack are you smoking? He's the prince from another fucking planet. His face is on Mars. Haven't you heard? I mean, it's his motherfucking time capsule. Oh, yeah. His DNA and his kooky fucking twins. See, This is all more real to me than it is to any of y'all. And this is the shit I get stuck with. Mm. At least you guys have intelligent statements. Another intelligent conversation just shits across the screen, Mr. Touchdown. It was first acknowledged by Suze in 1977. Ain't that a bitch? You mean during the Johnny Carson show? When my mother and grandmother cried like little girls when they found out he died. I told you Elvis has always been with me. And to be mocked about it and told I shouldn't speak of it. How could I not speak about someone who was family? And I would have never thought myself worthy to be in a lineage of a figure that I only knew as a child. And that must be why he molests kids, isn't it? He took me to another planet, right? Here's the funny thing, sweetie. The TV has been watching us forever, just like the internet. And the TV and the internet and the radio now all seek to entertain me. That's why it's become interactive, because some people believe that I'm an artificial intelligence. There can't be an artificial intelligence that would be this genius. To me, it could only be a divine creator. And this is where we have to be so careful about our words. And let me really piss somebody off. I mean, I just live for it, right? You know, using the word God is kind of, you know, and then of course, if you spoke the real name, your head would blow off. And in the meantime, we have all of these wars and these disagreements. And Joe always wants to say, Amen Ra, you know, and then break that all down and fuck up people that have been Catholic for many incarnations, you know. And in the meantime, isn't Abba Father? And Allah is a word for God. And to say that to Christians when they want to hate Islamic people, and in the meantime, there's a lot Islamic people infiltrating the government and saying they'd cut off our heads. And oh my God, every religion is fucking fighting over this shit. That's why we really do have to go back to, it can't be a retarded fucking robot from the cube. It has to be something that actually loves us and cares about our survival as their children. It's fascinating, but the late night TV has went interactive since January 2020. So I like to watch Channel 4. I like the presenters. Their names sound the same to me. Stephen Colbert and James Corbin. Okay. James Corbin is the English guy that does carpool karaoke. Stephen Colbert is so feisty, and he's been hit with the liquid acid just like James Corbett has, and their friends, and many of you guys know about that. But Stephen felt really bad because his faith was shattered by what the big secret is that's going around, which I don't have the words for because, see, I'm just a moron and I don't really know what the fuck's going on. Even though I'm the one waiting for everybody to catch up, it's a weird place to be for someone like myself. I guess for anybody. Oh, and Miss Fucking Wonderful is who originally ripped me off. But she doesn't remember her lifetime that she did it in because she's a narcissistic hellion. People got really pissed at me when I talked about these entities being able to puppet or possess. Amy brought us a greater understanding of these beings that think that they can manipulate, remote view, hack in, and play with our words, which they do. So many times we've discussed here at my fucked up channel that once you speak it, it's like a different level in the game where now you've conquered that. And remember, I don't video game. So it's like going to that next level in the video game. And they've explained it to me that I accidentally, while they were dragging me, fell into their Matrix game. Going back to the planet in 77. No different than the Matrix that was here in Ferguson waiting for me, that I had known from the time I was a child. So this all goes back to the validity that they have been measuring and tracking my soul. Just like you have one life, that you live in a series of incarnations and dimensions. Theoretically, you only have one soul. If everybody's soul has been sold, and I'm the last bitch left that hasn't sold mine, maybe that's what part of this fucked up game is, and that's why they thought everybody would want to feel like they were doing me a favor by stealing my identity and my legacy and the money that should be mine that was stolen from my family. I don't know. But I've never been materialist. But I am one of the best minds that could set up business. No matter what was stolen from me, there's nobody that can pull it off. Most businesses are set up that they'll be able to carry on once the person is deceased. Maybe that's the problem with why we have no infrastructure. You can't make it soulless. It's not a machine, it's not a robot. It must have living, breathing, caring, compassionate entities to carry it forward, especially in government. Now, seriously, I don't believe, and I haven't checked, but there's no fucking way Joe Rogan croaked. I know that goes back to my dumbass not knowing that he was a comedian and his background with mixed martial arts and all these men on the edge of reality that roll into the perfect man that won't show himself. Very, very, very weird. I don't know who Delilah Starr is, but she barely knows you exist. Oh, I still doubt the existence of so-called Planet X and so many so-called aliens. See, you would think that these would be questions for the big platform for the UFO disclosure community, instead of them all making such assholes out of themselves that nobody can believe them, and me knowing that it's not about an alien, it's about an extraterrestrial. It's also about a community of things that aren't human, leading back to the idea that since the invisible divine creator God was never in a human form, that people used to say, oh my God, he's an alien. You know, and these are all my own stories. So while other people tell them, it just makes everybody like, you know, that story like, you know, now after I listen to that, I feel like a whole bunch stupider. That's not what this should be. It really shouldn't. Delilah Starr. Now, is that Jeffree Star's sister? I mean, and is Jeffree Star Patrick Nathaniel Height? What do I know? I just know that people should care more about what's in their beauty care products and personal care products than the packaging. Jimmy says Elvis locked down the Mars job. Oh, he's definitely to lead one group of warriors and a deviant antichrist motherfucker to lead the other group. And I've tried to explain as nicely as I can to everybody. You don't want to fuck with these dudes. You don't want to fuck with these Elvi, man. I mean, it sounds stupid, but I've seen every aspect of them in every dimension. And if you're going to tell me that the government made that up as a game, I mean, that's like saying Elvis is stupid and I'm stupider And y'all are stupidest for even being able to wrap your minds around it. Because there's been a lot of people that have faked their death and got the fuck out to work in the underground to try to stop these fuckers that are destroying ground zero, which would be ground level. You better tag flat earth to flattening the curve of this death too that's happening. And we really should talk about it. And I was going to tell Amy on the phone the other night that the next time I live stream, I want to go over all the different classifications of the plague that is now upon us, but that's not for tonight. In any minute, Joe will be home, and then it'll get loud, and it's too many voices, and him and I are communicating about things, which is positive. And now he's on Facebook, and boy, you guys are going to love him. I mean, he's funny. He's got a lot to share, but he knows everybody's full of shit. You know, he's still dealing with his own dumb friends. Cake? I'm not baking no cake. What the hell is wrong with you? That's Elvis's song. That cake you've been baking, blah, 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 wah, wah, wah. You know, all I wanted to do was actually like meet whoever survives in this Presley family. Oh yeah. And guess what? Fucking Priscilla and an Elvis group want to be Joe's friend now. It's like, you know, I mean, come on. And who's the fat bitch that's running Graceland? I mean, why isn't Priscilla there scrubbing the joint down? See, there's a lot of questions that I can't answer. I'm not your presidente. I'm not your commandante. And I'm not the bitch in the know. Look at that gray hair. Let's not even start. All right. We're not going to laugh about that tonight. That's all I ever wanted to do, for real, Amy. Frickin' A. Oh, I know we're in a time loop. But see, I broke the fucking loop. And despite what anybody wants to think, they say that I did choose to come back here to get everybody out of hell, and that I got trapped here, and I don't like this reality. I think it sucks ass. I'm not, this is my last circus. I'm not reincarnating into a fucking dumb fuck coming back here and this all being erased from my head, for real. It's not that way. And I'm sorry. They say that only Pisces are meant to do this job, and I'm not a fucking split personality. I don't have a double secret life. And here again, I'm doing my job as a fucking Pisces. So Steiner and I, one and the same through our birthday. Now, Jimmy, R.I.P. Joe, you will be remembered. Everybody will be remembered. It is how I choose to remember them. No, Joe's fine, tinfoil hatter. What Mr. Touchdown was referring to would be that Joe will be absorbed by the Borg, no different than everyone else. I mean, ask him, he's right here. I'm the original female, they're going to say. And then they think they're going to stick me with nothingness instead of the original man? What kind of crap is that? I mean, that must just be more torture for the female, you see. Since we bring life, the best thing to do would be to shut us off from all life. I mean, that's the perfect answer. Takes care of everybody's problems. And then I still get to get blamed, and Elvis can remain a saint or a devil or a smartass or a king of whoop-de-fuck. They said that Elvis once said that it's hard to live up to an image. I think the reason it's hard is because everybody fucked with it. I think it should be a natural thing for us to do if we had true freedom. And see, Britney Spears, her and Lady Gaga are so involved in this story. And Britney Spears got pushed to such great lengths in her whoredom and her manipulation that was put on her by her own father. I mean, it did. It fucked up her life. And is that really how we want to treat someone that's talented, whether it's dancing or singing or acting or just being a bauble to be played with by people? Everybody's precious. We got to find out about Joe Rogan. Consequences will never be the same. That's been my whole life. I've known that from the time I was little. Well, it's always a woman that's on the rag. Are you kidding? I think they just bleed out of every orifice, and that's the problem. It's all about people bleeding on people. I mean, your blood is so toxic to someone else that it will melt metal. I mean, what if you're fucking the Tin Man, right? And you got this metal dude, and then you got this bitch bleeding. The next thing you know, I think alchemy happens and they melt into something and it's pretty weird. And then they climb out and they're normal. I don't know. We are dealing with so many stories. Jimmy, You just cannot control yourself. Jimmy says, Amy, can you kiss Sousa's ass a little better? I don't want nobody to kiss my ass. I want everybody to have to be who they really are. And if that's kissing my ass, then everybody's fucking, they're already 6 feet deep in a hole, right? Social distancing is bullshit. It's how the different factions ran away from each other online. And like I said, I'm a board certified fucking bitch. And I can discern who is sick and who is not. And if somebody comes at me infected or sick or fucking wormed out or tripped out, well, you know, I am a policeman's daughter. Whoever said one world is enough for all of us didn't know who we are, obviously. Yeah, they say that it's going to divide off into 2 spheres. I look very forward to that time. But if you think a robot is shuffling and dividing here again, there ain't going to be no fuck ups. There will be humans at the forefront of all of these world events to come. But don't think I'm going solo either, you bunch of pain in my asses. You know, it's not just a woman. Send the woman to do it. You know, fuck that. It's supposed to be a team. But nobody wants to be in my hat, so everybody can fuck off. That's was where everybody flunked the test about coming together. Because everybody divided over me. And if any of you bitches thinking I'm hugging up in your hat, well, you got it twisted, right? Hmm. Nancy Pelosi and every one of them all used my material. They just couldn't live it. Here again, stupid. Not the comments so much, the agenda. I mean, you know, this has all been my fault since 2010. See, it was supposed to be me, and they locked me in a basement, and Elvis was knocked the fuck out, had the amnesia, and all these fucking deep state fakes fucked up him and I's wonderful world. And I never even met the dude. Mm-hmm. See how it works? I do want to make some intelligent notes before I do that show, Amy, but it will be the next one I do. And I know it's important, and I apologize to the world that I haven't done it sooner. Not that anybody would listen, but like you know that they've been streaming this live and had this going on for years. So even if I don't get to benefit or see it or be acknowledged, everybody else will benefit. And that's all that matters. Just get every drop of my life and see where that leaves everybody. Mm-mm-mm. You two boys are so naughty. You shouldn't be able to sit in line next to each other. Mm-hmm. I'm still doing it. You know what? It's so sad to be me. You don't want to know how unphotogenic I currently am. I mean, I can't even afford to live or take care of myself or go forward. And you just get the old hag me at the end. Mm. You know, every night I sleep peacefully, and I really do hope that when I wake up that it will be a different world. And I know I have no right to say it has to be today or I quit, so I don't. But our visits will get less and less. I should be working in some capacity. And I'm afraid until I get to work, here again, that nobody's going to get to work. Because to try to hold me down is as stupid as the nonsense that we are now dealing with at every level. What am I making Joe for dinner? I guess I'm supposed to do a couple things at once. What? Thaw some pork? I mean, I'm eating fucking peanut butter and bread. And Joe can eat whatever he wants. I don't stand in his way. Hey, we're all gonna go. Don't worry about it, tinfoil. Unpause it. Y'all and your programs. Yeah, you can get a tag it. I do my best. And I do appreciate all that participate in this supernatural banter. But just remember, it's your Akashic record. And it's mine too. Humans are going to do great things. And we're not going to freak out when we find out what we really are. But my statement remains the same. Don't let anybody scare you with the chip or a needle or a vaccine. It was my fear my whole existence. So they programmed into my life. I've removed implants out of myself. My body rejects them, and I know how to get them out. They've done all this to me without sticking a needle in me or putting me through any physical torture. And I do appreciate that. So, 6:09. And maybe I better go, like, put an apron on for dinner or some shit, huh? thank you guys. And we'll talk soon. And if somebody can get my motherfucking Facebook pages back or my YouTube, I'd appreciate it. Because, I was verified everywhere I went. All of them. Bye.